All right, yo, welcome to the 2026 Q&A answers. I'm kind of late on this, but I thought I was gonna do it anyways. I'm playing a random game that I used to play years ago. I actually made videos on this back in the day, but I don't think anyone knows it. But I'm just on this right now, so it's whatever, man. Enjoy the gameplay, man. It's called Goda.io, kind of like an Agario version. But hey, we're gonna go through the questions. Better late than never. We're gonna go through this shit. So the first question, I'm just gonna read all the comments out, bro. Some of them aren't even questions; they're just whatever. But the first question, I guess, is from Jay's Tool RBLX /MMR. Haven't heard the name in years, man. Well, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I've been around. If you haven't heard the name in years, back last year I uploaded quite a bit of videos, so you should have gotten notifications, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm still around, still kicking it. It is what it is. Next question from Compton78333. So many people so interested in playing Assassin. This game has crazy potential. I mean, look, there's a core fan base, right? The problem is the game isn't attracting any new people. It's just dead. And Prisman has quit Roblox many years ago, so he's not interested in updating the game anymore. Plutonum, I think Plutonum has like a question currently pending at Prisman for like that Plutonum can update the game a little. I don't know, but there's basically there's zero interest from anyone involved to really do anything with the game. And things can't last forever. The game's over 10 years old at this point, so it's had its glory days. Nothing lasts forever. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. So it's time to move on. I mean, there's no reason to hang on to Assassin in the big 26 at this point. But yeah, it was great while it lasted, of course. A thing that's known to everyone. Of course, it is still my favorite Roblox game of all time, of course. Even nowadays, if you still play it, the thing is the servers are dead, so there's nothing much to do. But it is what it is, man. But yeah, there's definitely still like a core fan base that's so interested in playing the game, but that just doesn't play because of the lack of updates and everything. But even so, even if there were updates, the player base still wouldn't significantly go up or whatever. It would still be kind of light. It is what it is. Next question from Zav says, oh, I read that wrong. Sav says GG's. It's GG's for Assassin, bro. It's GG's for Assassin. Do you think Assassin is over for the foreseeable future? Yes, bro. Not even the foreseeable. Oh, this guy just cooked me. The permanent future, bro. Like there's no plans for. Oh, ooh. Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm cooked. The Assassin is cooked permanently, bro. Even if Prisman would have come back, even if he's not going to come back, right? Like, if anything is going to happen with the game, it's going to be with Plutonum, but he also has no interest. Plutonum, if you guys don't know, Plutonum has been a developer for Assassin since like 2016. He's like one of the first developers for the game. That he like made maps back in the day, and now he's involved. He was involved in like 2023 a little bit, but pretty much Plutonum also like basically made Assassin X. Prism had like close to zero involvement in that. And Plutonum basically took it from there. And because of Assassin X, he landed quite a few good contracts from what I understand. And he's making a lot of money working on different games. And there's just nothing to gain from the Assassin franchise, all right? Like the Assassin, whatever. It's just a dead concept, in my opinion. Even Assassin X, while that did have a little bit of potential, it was quickly abandoned. I don't know why, because he was like working on other things with Plutonum, but eventually he just landed better deals on several things, and it just it slipped out of whatever. It slipped out of the fucking the working board. It just wasn't relevant anymore. It's over, bro. Especially the original game. It's guys. The game is 10 years old, like I just said previously. It's also like very much old Roblox coded. And I feel like it's not like look. I saw someone on Discord message me quite a while ago, and they were talking about like, oh yeah, prison life is like popping off, but prison life is so incomparable to Assassin, right? I mean, prison life is a goated OG game, of course, but I mean, prison life, like just the type of game it is, it's just not comparable. When you look at Assassin with like all the trading and whatever, and all the knives, all the the lore behind the game. Prison life, you just hop on, you just start, right? Like there's no like progress really that you could build up over the years. I don't know. It's just different when you start a game fresh, and something like prison life. But it is what it is. Um, Anyways, let's move on to the next question. Like I said, Assassin is over. Not even for the foreseeable future, just permanently. It's a thing for the past, bro. Some people still play it. It's not completely dead, but it's almost as dead as can be, I would say. Next question from Sierran. Would you be able to low key revive Assassin for just a bit again? Look, I don't know what kind of motion y'all think I got. But I'm not able to revive it, bro. I mean, I'm not a developer. I know I have a YouTube channel, but I don't have much motion on there either. I can't just single-handedly revive the game. I mean, I was making plenty of videos on the game when it was still like semi-active, but like not really. And I feel like for a bit I was kind of like an important figure in the culture. But right now, it's just like no one is really on there anymore. And even if I started posting videos again or whatnot, it wouldn't really help that much, at least in my opinion. I have about 5,000 subscribers, which is, on a grand scale, really not a lot. But also a lot of those just simply quit Assassin or just moved on in other ways. So yeah, I'm not able to revive it, bro. I mean, I could. I'm good friends with Plutonum. I will say that. But he really is not interested in Assassin anymore either. I mean, this guy he's on a couple contracts right now, at least for one good game that's performing really well. Holy shit! I don't know how he just got all that mass there. But yeah, Plutonum is working on other projects, bro, and he's doing well with doing that. And he also has no interest in trying to revive Assassin or like provide updates for that or whatever, bro. Like in any way. So I'm not able to revive it, even if I started making content again. And like, I don't know, even if you brought like all the OG YouTubers back, I mean, even those OG YouTubers, they also don't really have a fan base anymore. Assassin's just a thing of the past that you gotta accept that it's not gonna be the way it was, or even remotely close to the way it was. It's just not gonna be that way again. I'm not able to revive it. I don't think anyone's able to revive it. When you look at Roblox, it's not appealing anymore. When you look at they would have to significantly change the game in order to, appeal to the new audiences. And, you guys know what kind of games are front page, right? I mean, there's a reason that y'all want Assassin to come back again. It's because it's too good, and y'all don't fuck with the newer stuff. But the newer stuff is what attracts the new fan base, right? So if Assassin wants to compete with that, they would also have to make updates to appeal to the new player base of Roblox. And Assassin is just not a game that really fits for that. It's an OG game, right? It's an OG game, and it's not gonna really it's just not meant to be modernized, in my opinion. Like, they can do it, but the thing also is, if Assassin wants to like start off fresh and blow up again, in an organic way, it's just really difficult. First of all, it's an old game, and of course, you also already have people with hundreds of prestiges. Like, most players have are very high level and have insane inventories. When you start that game, if you join the game, you're like level 1, you're like nothing, right? It's just very hard to get into. Like, there's no appeal really. I don't know. It's over for Assassin, bro. I'm not able to single-handedly revive it. The thing is, I don't think No Data made a video on Assassin in 2017. Well, me and No Data have been the longest content creators of Assassin. The only two people to make Assassin videos for like 8 consecutive years. My first video dates back to 2017 on Assassin, and No Data's as well. And I think we both made an Assassin video in 2025 or 2024 as well. So we're like the only people to upload Assassin content for 8 consecutive years. Okay, like me and No Data are the only 2 people to do that. Of course, you have the OG YouTubers, but they quit years ago. Like me and him are the only 2 content creators to still stand strong. And I haven't uploaded a video yet this year. I don't think No Data will. So I'm going to upload a video this year for sure at some point about Assassin. So I'm going to be the only creator to upload then for 9 consecutive years, right? So I'm the only one still going strong in the content creator sphere for this game. But it's over, bro. There's nothing to be done. Oh, shit. I was too slow. It's over. I cannot revive it. I'm basically too small for that. I think if No Data would actually like generally pump out a lot of content again about it, it would maybe see a slight revival, but it still wouldn't be enough for anything significant. Like it's just the game's over. It's done for. It's too old. It's time to move on. Or you can still play the game. I mean, you don't have to move on. You can still play it, but just don't expect it to gain a massive player base again or updates or some shit. Next question from Josh MC Burger 12. Will they ever touch Assassin again? Hoping you have a connect with one of those guys still and can give an answer. I'd take a small season pass. Like I just said, bro, Plutonum is like the only guy that can do anything at this point, but he's not down to do anything. All right, like it's generally it's over in any way, shape, and form possible. I'm not gonna go too deeper into that because I already answered it previously. Assassin is a thing of the past, bro. Even a small season pass, like nothing's gonna happen. Don't have your hopes up, I would say. Next question from Jack Johnson. He says honorable mentions. It's not really a question, but I don't know. Honorable mentions? I don't know. I don't have any honorable mentions at this point in the video. I think I don't know. Shout out to myself, bro. I'm an honorable mention. All right. Next question is from Parsec. He says something in French, like "Mon ami, vous avez." I'm gonna translate that shit real quick. You have very beautiful, thick eyebrows. How was your Christmas? Are you planning to return to France? So I don't know what's up with these French people, but like 3 years ago, I think in 2022, I went to France on a vacation, and I posted that shit on Instagram, on my Instagram /MMR, and I had like a couple of French guys commenting like mon ami, this and that. And they keep saying mon ami, and I don't really know what that means. But since then, they posted on my Instagram posts a couple times, and they also found my YouTube channel. So this is just, I don't know, it's one of those French people from like 4 years ago that's still commenting. Either way, thank you for the compliment on my eyebrows. My Christmas, I mean, it's been a while now already, but it was all right. And I don't have any plans for the foreseeable future to return to France, unfortunately. But maybe I'll return, bro. One day I'll return to France. All right. Anyways, man. Next question by Aiden R180. What would you do if you just hit a dog going 70 miles per hour on your truck? Such a shitty Christmas Eve right now. It ran right up on the highway. I hate this year so much. I don't know, man. I mean, I think the only thing that matters to me here is, did it die or not? That's what I want to know. You know, if I hit a dog going 70 miles per hour on the truck on Christmas Eve, you know, did it die or not? I think that's the most important part of the question here. You know, that would really, it depends on whether the dog died or not. So let me know. All right, next question by Harry W _. How many girls did you get throughout 2025? I think about 4. All right. Next question from Hassan0618. Do you see the OG Discord days coming back? I mean, I don't know. You gotta be more specific, bro. Like, which days are you talking about? Like, which community? You know, I mean, Discord as a whole, it's still I think Discord is in its prime right now. If you're talking popularity-wise, you know, there's a bunch of active servers for various things. But yeah, I mean, I think Hassan's a friend of mine. He's referring to the assassin side of things. I mean, absolutely in that regard, like I already answered before, absolutely not. There's no such thing as you know assassin Discord days coming back. It's over, bro. You know, like here and there, there's like old friend groups that are still like friends with each other. They're still active, in their own regard, but like not. There's no such thing as like assassin servers. Even the main assassin server is just pretty much dead. You still have Zephyr values, the value list that's currently being used, which actually is still active. That's still being updated. This is like the only value list out right now. It's that server is kind of active, but yeah, it's kind of dead as of now. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's the prime, the OG Discord days. You know, it's a thing of the past if you're talking about Assassin in specific. But even if we're talking about like our era, a lot of people, at least that I was friends with back in the OG Discord days, right? They all quit. Like I don't really have any of my OG friends anymore. I really started getting into. I had Discord before, but I really started getting active and really involved with the Assassin community for that regard back in 2019. And most of those people have just quit or moved on entirely. So yeah, the it's just people getting older, bro. Like we are not the youngest people anymore, right? On the internet. I know it's now Gen Alpha and like maybe some late Gen Zers that are now really into that sort of stuff. But for us, things don't last forever, right? You can't be youthful forever. Even though we're still young, those sort of days are kind of over, I'd say. Ooh, that was clean. Anyways, man, next question we have from Harris. What a goat, man. Not really a question, but I appreciate it if you're referring to me. Next question. We have three here from Russ. Oh, damn. What do you think? Oh, no. Who do you think will win the war out of Ukraine or Russia? Honestly, bro, I don't really know. It's a good question. I mean, it's been going on for 4 years, I think now. Is honestly at this point like they're still fighting, but like nothing. Not really any progress. And I guess it also really depends on what you consider a win. I think at some point the most likely thing is they'll reach like some sort of deal. But yeah, it's not looking too good for Ukraine, to be honest. The thing is, Russia just has like a massive military, and they just keep sending people in. Like they just have an almost near infinite source of people. And the thing is, with the recent war in Ukraine, Russian oil is actually like really valuable again, and I read that they're making like a lot of money from that currently, which they can of course use to fund the war again. So yeah, I mean, long term, I think Russia eventually, like I said, it really depends on what you consider a win, because Russia is not going to get exactly what they wanted out of the war, but I think they're still going to win territory in the end. Because look, Ukraine just cannot keep going forever, right? Like they have their limits, and of course the Europe has been supporting them, but it's also kind of draining us in some regard, and also some countries don't really want to continue supporting Ukraine. I mean, just look at America, for example; they're really kind of done with all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I mean, they're still fighting. There still hasn't been like an agreement or anything. But in the end, just because of course Ukraine is kind of, the support of Europe is kind of slowed down for Ukraine, I'd say. So eventually, I think Russia is gonna, I think Russia's gonna gain some territory, and I think they're gonna see it as a win. But if you look at all the losses made, I don't know if it's really a win on either side, to be honest. So that's my answer for that. The second question: what was your most exciting thing that happened in 2025? Nothing really. I don't know. Nothing has really been that exciting, I'd say. I don't know, just normal stuff. I mean, I got a new job at the start of the year. I spoke about it on the podcast at the time, but I got fired from my old job. Um, I don't know how much in detail I went about that, but then I got a new job and I still work there, so it's great. So I think I'd say that. But for the rest, nothing much exciting, I'd say specifically. And his third question is: do you think every year is starting to feel the same as we age? That's kind of a popular sentiment that as you get older, time goes faster, and it's because you have less unique experiences or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I mean that's kind of it though. Like, right? Like, whenever you're younger, you're like, you're going through high school. Every year is something new. Um, oh shit. Every year is like different in high school and stuff, and like you go to college, every year is different, and as you grow older, um, you kind of fall more into like a rhythm or like a pattern, however you would call it. Everything is just kind of same-ish, right? Like even for me right now, I already finished high school and college. I just go to work every day, and it is kind of more the same, but it really depends, what kind of things you engage in and what you kind of do in your spare time and whatnot. Oh, so yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It depends what you do, but yeah, I mean, that is kind of like how life works. I mean, I think it's like scientifically proven as well that time just literally moves faster, or at least it feels faster when you're older. So yeah, that's just science, I suppose. But it really depends what you make of it, man. Next question from S66RH. Why did Assassin fall off? It just did, bro. I mean, it's like I said, it's just also a thing with the times, man. It didn't really appeal to a younger player base, I suppose. Even before that, it already started showing signs of decline. It just wasn't fortunate enough to make it through the test of time, I guess. When you look at something like Murder Mystery 2, I think Murder Mystery 2 is a great example. Not because it's necessarily better in any way. It just got lucky, I guess. I think it was just more appealing. It's just an easier game to play than Assassin, and even though it is still a kind of an old game, it just simply did not not die out. And I think it's pure luck, honestly, or maybe just a little bit more of an accessibility factor. But yeah, Assassin, like I said, maybe it would have been a little more, you know, prevalent if the game was still heavily backed throughout the years and promoted and whatnot. But I don't know. Things just go that way, bro. Like nothing. It's like I said, it's pure luck. With it, like I just said, MM2, for example, Murder Mystery 2, it's still active, and I think it's just I don't know, maybe something to do with accessibility of the game. Um, Assassin unfortunately did not have that. Um, didn't Is not fortunate enough to, I guess, be seen as that accessible to the newer player base, or even for maybe long term gameplay. For a lot of people that used to play but now quit. I don't know. It's just it's either just yeah. I think it's just also just a mix of a little bit bad luck, I guess. But I don't know, man. It's over for Assassin, bro. I mean, and of course the main reason it eventually completely fell off is because just the developer Prisman, he literally quit Roblox. So yeah, I mean I don't know what you want me to say about that. Um, Next question from Daily Clips 7. Is Assassin getting sold? No chance. All right, it is not getting sold. No, it's just no. That's all I can say. Just literally no. There's not even a slight chance. Next question from Roni348. Now that Assassin is dead, did you actually boost for your top 10 black hole season? No. And, next question from him. Would you ever sell your knives now that Assassin died? No. I have no interest in selling anything. Um, I just, first of all, I don't need the money. I don't really care about the money. If I was interested in selling anything, I would have done that years ago. I just care more about the memories, and I worked for that inventory, and I want to keep it. I don't really care to sell it. How much do you miss Assassin from 1 to 10? Is the last question by Roni. 10, bro. But I don't really know. I mean, look, of course, when I was, in my prime there, when Assassin was still popular and I was doing all my videos and stuff, I was also a lot younger. So I mean, it's hard to compare to I mean, I don't know how active I'd be nowadays, on that sort of stuff. Of course, it's very hard to compare nowadays. If Assassin was still active, like how much would I really be doing with it? I think I'd still be active though. I mean, look, Assassin has meant a lot to me from a young age. I started playing when I was like 10, I think. Yeah, when I was 10, and now I'm 19, and I actually still kind of play it sometimes. But yeah, I mean, as time goes on, you just kind of lose interest in things. I never lost interest, but it was just because the game died. Like I lost interest because the game died. I guess you could put it that way. If the game was still as active as it was back in like 2019, 2020, I would still, or even earlier than that, I would still play it, of course. Um, but yeah, it's not. But I do, of course, when I look at the prime, I miss it, bro. Of course, like easily a 10, 100 out of 10. Like, it was good times, and I love that game. I love the community around it. It was great. But yeah, that's it. Next question from Josh MC Burger 12. He said, "R.I.P." I don't know if he's referring to me. I mean, I'm still alive. I don't know if he means assassin. In that case, yeah, I agree. Rest in peace, bro. Next question from Queza. Um, what are your PC specs? I don't know from the top of my head. I might put a picture on screen for you, but it's nothing really crazy. I'm not really a PC nerd, so I don't really know much about that. If I don't put a picture on screen, then I'm sorry. I just got too lazy or I couldn't find it. Um, Next question from uh, Savitar. I'm just gonna say Savitar because he has a weird username. I don't know what he did with that. That's my friend. Does obesity kill? I mean, in the long run, it definitely does. I think I mean, you definitely if you're obese and you don't do anything about it, you definitely higher your chances of like a heart attack and whatnot. So, it's not a healthy state to be in. Um, so, I mean, in the end, it does. It doesn't really have to be the leading factor for someone's death, but it definitely can be, and definitely can contribute to several factors that could increase your death at a younger age. All right, next question, man. Are the gay allegations true or not? I'm gonna definitely say that those allegations are false, and I don't know who's making those allegations, but I don't know, man. They're fake. Next question from friendly reader dash 12R. Back when you played Assassin, what was your relationship like with shoes? It seems like you guys were part of separate fan groups and didn't like each other. Now this is actually kind of funny because for some reason shoes it seems like shoes replied to this. He said, "Why do you remember me?" And I gotta say, shoes. I don't know why. I didn't know you were still like around, bro. I mean, I don't know how you stumbled across my video and even commented. But shout out to you, bro. Look, me and Shoes, we were chill at some points, and I even have videos where I was in like a call with Shoes, and he was just there chilling. But yeah, he kind of had beef with me at some points. I mean, a lot of people had beef with me back in like 2020 something because they thought I had like too big of an ego or something. I don't know. A lot of people hated me at some points back in the prime days of my career. Um, but no, I would say in the end, Shoes was kind of, he was very young at the time. You wouldn't say it, but Shoes was actually like back when Tourneys, if you guys remember Tourneys, he was like one of the higher people in there. I think he was like 12 years old, and I was like 14 at the time. So I might have just been his age, but he was kind of cocky sometimes and whatnot. But I was still like in the end, I never had any issues with anyone, but people started making issues with me, and she was definitely one of those people in those groups that started making issues with me. Even though like me myself, I personally I didn't really do anything. Um, but yeah, a lot of people hated me at some point, and he was part of that. But eventually, we were kind of chill, I'd say. especially considering he commented on the video. So I don't know. Shout out to Shoes if you see this. Hope you're doing well. I remember he kind of has like he had like a Valorant career going for a second. I don't know how that's going, but I haven't spoken to him in years. But I wouldn't say we were really part of different friend groups. Look, the thing with me was I wanted to be chill with everyone back then, but then people started like kind of hating me for being like in the middle. You had like the controversial people in tourneys, and then you had all the like the kind of the assassin officials, and a lot of the attorneys people were banned in the official assassin Discord for several reasons. So people didn't so the attorneys people didn't really like that I was cool with all those people from the that were kind of like higher ups in the official assassin Discord, etc., such as Jamie, for example. And then people like Jamie, they didn't really mess with that I was cool with someone like Finn, or yeah, all those people in the tourneys. But I wanted to be cool with everyone. I wanted to be like kind of in the middle of things, but I guess in the end it didn't really work out for me. I kind of wanted to stay neutral. um I just wanted to be nice to everyone, but that wasn't really appreciated. You got to always like, it feels like you got to pick a side. But I just wanted to be cool with both sides because I was also involved in both communities. I was a staff member in Tony's for years, but I was still cool with several people from other friend groups. But yeah, I feel like back in like like 2019, 2020, I was really hated a lot by that sort of tourneys community. But in the end, I kind of became chill with them, especially leading into 2021, 2022, because I was also a staff member. I was like admin in tourneys for like quite a while, and I actually was like one of the most active people there. So I don't know. I think everything was chill at the end, but yeah, there was definitely certain time periods where things moved a little weird. But yeah, that was it, bro. Next question with from Rory06. Why do you smell like eggs? I don't think I do. Actually, I don't really eat eggs that often, so I don't know how that smell would come along, and I don't know how you would know how it smelled, but I don't really smell like eggs, bro. So let's move on. We have another question here from Arsenic. Friends come when? This is another one of those French people that I was talking about earlier, bro. And even the Parsec guy from earlier even commented on that. Let's actually translate his comment. His eyebrows look fresh now, Monome. Maybe he's coming to France for the show. I don't know which show you're talking about, bro. I'm not coming anywhere, bro. I'm not coming near France in the foreseeable future. But I don't know who these guys are. Like I said, they've been following me for like 4 years now, ever since I actually went to France and I posted like a picture on Instagram where I was at the Mont Blanc, and they commented on it, and ever since then they've just been following me uh, on YouTube and on Instagram. So I don't know what's up with these guys, man. But if I ever do go to France, I mean, these guys, guys, the French people, if they're watching this, feel free to add me on Discord. My Discord is /MMR. Just shoot me a message, bro. If I ever come to France, we gotta link up, bro. We gotta link up. But yeah, I have no plans to come to France anytime soon again. I've already been to France like a handful of times in my life. So yeah, no plans, man. Sorry. And then the last question of this 2025 Q&A comes from Flex-LU3TV. Do you remember Infinite Twist / Shay? Yeah, of course I remember. Hard to forget people. I remember most people from the old Assassin days, especially someone as prominent as Shay was back in his day. He was like 2 weeks younger than me, I think. His birthday's like in September, early September. Yeah, I mean, I remember him. I don't know. Your question isn't really, that in depth or something, but yeah, I remember him. So I don't know what you want me to say about it, but I even have like a video on my channel of me wanting him in some tournament, and I beat him in there. Back in like 2020, I think. So yeah, no, I remember Shay. Of course, he was also like he was kind of like also in that sort of, he was really good friends with Shoes, who I just spoke about like a couple minutes ago. So whatever I said about Shoes kind of applies to him as well. Chill guy though. He did kind of hate me at some point, just like Shoes. We had beef, but I think we're cool now. Even like 2 years ago, even Shay, he also is like into Valorant nowadays. I don't know if he still is, but a couple years ago he was. And back when I would also stream Valorant, he would actually pop in my stream sometimes with Wondered, aka I think his name is Dylan. Him and Wand are still good friends to this day, I think. But yeah, no, Shay actually popped in my stream a few times 2 years ago when I was playing Valorant because he's kind of into that. So yeah, I think we're cool nowadays. But yeah, he was also one of those people that used to, kind of hate me and make fun of me back in the day. But then eventually, I guess we were kind of cool. And yeah, I mean, nowadays it's all years ago, and I don't really speak to any one of those people anymore. They all moved on to several different communities. While Assassin just died out completely. So it's all kind of past. It's all in the past. But yeah, I remember him. You know. So yeah, I mean that's the answer to your question. And that was it, man. Those were all the questions for the 2025 Q&A. Apologies for taking so long to upload these answers, man. I haven't really gotten to it yet, but hey, I did it now, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. More content on the way. I'll see what I'm gonna do with all the content, man. I mean, there's a lot of content to be done. It's not a lot of, you know, I don't know. I just don't really feel like it sometimes. I'm just very busy, to be honest. But I'll try to, you know, see what I can do. So yeah, those were all the answers, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time. See you.